And we are back with the spoiler discussion slash review on that time I got reincarnated as a slime, Scarlet Bond. Yeah, I wanted to do a spoiler discussion because there was a lot of plot points in the movie that I really want to talk about, and so this would be the perfect time to talk about them. I guess I should start with a small summary of the movie, just a very basic one, since I don't want to give away too many details unless I'm going into complete focus on those plot points. But yeah, I really love the intro, how it all ties back into the main villain of season 1/2. I mean, it's Clayman who's pulling all the strings for season 1 events like the orc disaster and the orc army. Hero and his ogres are all deserters of Clayman's army, and Clayman hates whenever anyone doesn't follow his orders and can't stay loyal to his army. So, as per usual, he tries to kill Hero and the rest of the ogres, which for some reason most of them survive. Like, even though it looks like they all die, they all survive their encounter with, I forget which is his name, but he's basically the swordsman kind of ninja. Yeah, I can't remember his name. It's just off the top of my head, but yeah, he goes in there and assassinates most of them, or at least just Hero. That's the only one he has to fight because Hero's the only one putting up a good fight, while the rest of the ogres die to no-name soldiers. Like, Hero is actually doing a pretty good job fighting, and it seemed like he was gonna win against the guy with the ice sword, but of course he had the special duplicate armband, whatever it's called, and then he didn't make sure the job was actually done, so he was able to be saved by Raja's people and the queen herself. Just because some of the other ogres survived, they were able to give their life force, which let Hero survive. So it's like, I don't know, them not being able to actually finish the job seems a little far-fetched that so many of them survive just to give their life force so Hero can live. And then after Hero like discovers everything about the village being destroyed by the orc disaster, he then just goes and works for Toas because apparently he has nothing better to do, not even going to search for other survivors that there could possibly be. He just thought everyone died in it. And then there's a time skip. I'm guessing like the 2 years, 3 years. I don't know how much time has passed between the orc disaster event and when this movie takes place, because the timeline in Slime is like kind of unknown, because like usually they not like saying specific times, like they never usually say months, years, or something like that, so it's kind of hard to say, but I would have to say probably like 2 or 3 years between those events. But since Hero and the princess have been hearing rumors of a brand new demon lord that seem pretty helpful to the nations, they go asking Tempest for help. But apparently, while flying over, Hero saw the orcs and just randomly decide to attack because these orcs are just there. Like, I guess he has a little undertone racism, because whenever he sees orcs, he just assumes they're all in the same army, all working together. And so he attacks Gald and the other random orcs that are just working on a road, which I just found that battle so weird. Like, it was a cool battle, but we just jumped straight into the fray of it since we didn't even get to see Hero's perspective of that battle. It's like we just instantly go into that. Like, no build up, no nothing. It just happened. But the battle with Geld and Hero was pretty cool. Like, seeing Geld use his strength, but obviously being outclassed in speed and some of the ogre abilities, and that kind of made Hero be the stronger fighter in that battle. What's her name? Soka tried to stop the battle or come to Geld's aid, and she kind of gets tossed to the side. And then the true hero here has to step in, Benimaru, which is pretty cool to see because that's the first meeting of the ogres. And I thought they would talk about this more, but it seemed like Hero kind of had like an anger issue problem, which I thought that would be like the big crux of his character. Like he would get too angry whenever he would think about his comrades or whenever he'd be trying to fight someone. That would make him sloppy or maybe make him super powerful but make him a danger to everyone. So after that little meeting they have with each other, they go to Tempest for an actual proper meeting. And there, Hero is able to explain their situation, like the little lore about Raja, where the queen purifies their lake. They suspect it's the mining that's causing pollution inside their lake, which I don't know if that's how that would work, because I would imagine you would be able to tell like if substances were flowing into your lake from the mines. Like I think that would be a pretty easy thing to like cover up so that stuff isn't flowing into your water source. But yeah, a very big complaint I had was, aside from Benimaru, the other ogres really don't get time with Hero to like talk or have any bonding experience, getting to know someone that you thought was dead for like 4 or 5 years, since whenever he left to be a mercenary to like now working for the kingdom of Raja. And yeah, it's like, just aside from a few lines, nothing amazing is said that's like, oh man, these guys are really good friends and like I want to see more of them together. It was just very basic things like, yeah, we're all serving Rimaru now. He's such a great leader. Then also my other big complaint was, I said that usually movies are like the greatest hits of characters. They always try and stuff so many characters into movies, even if it is just for like a minute or two. And this is another time when they did it, where it's like Milim was not in that scene at all, in this meeting or anything, and she just appears, and the guys are going, Demon Lord Milim? Or like, that Milim? Nah, it can't be that Milim. Because she was literally nowhere, I guess like hundreds of thousands of miles, I don't know. And you just see a little blue light in the distance for a second, and boom, she's instantly there. She had nothing to do with the scene at all. I guess it was just to show that Rimuru has powerful allies and that he's someone that you shouldn't mess with. Like, I'm guessing that was the point of the scene. But because Rimuru is such a good guy, he just like instantly goes in and helps Hero and the princess with their current lake problem. Is actually so weird for like an anime movie, that the hero is so understanding, or the problem was so straightforward that it's like the problem didn't even take that long to deal with. So they head back to Raja and they meet the princess, and they also talk to the assistants, or the three main assistants to the princess. And Rimaru is almost able to like instantly sniff out that one of them is bad, which is the elf one, the tallest one. Like after giving the princess some medicine, they go down to the lake to try and figure out the problem. And Rimaru uses analysis with Raphael, and they instantly figure out that there's something poisoning the water that is not the mines, which it turns out to be a magic circle. And Rimuru just clears the waterway and instantly finds it and sucks it all up. Then no more poison is being produced into the water. And that deals with the main problem of Raja. Like, I don't know like when they did that, but I felt like that was at the 30% to 50% mark of the movie, maybe 40, but somewhere between that ballpark, the main problem of the movie is solved. So the princess doesn't have to use her tiara, which her tiara was given by a goddess, apparently, which no, it was not given by a goddess. It was given by the twist secret villain of the movie, was one of the primordial demons, Violet, I'm pretty sure her name is. With that, the kingdom is saved for now until 10 days later, where one of Violet's minions that's been living in the kingdom for I don't know how many years, probably like 5, 10 years since he has a business with them. He's a merchant, so he's been selling to them for quite a while, going on trips. And after figuring out the lake isn't being poisoned anymore, he comes up with a new plan, or a more chaotic plan, because his main plan is whenever Violet gave the tiara to the original queen of the land, Violet wanted the queens to be corrupted by the tiara's power, and once they did that, she would have a host for a body that she could have, the perfect body, because all the queens are pure in nature, and so that would apparently make the perfect body. I think the main villain slash minion is called like Lucarena, or Luke something. I really don't care much about his name, but yeah, his thing is just to force the princess or Toa to use the power of the tiara, to overly use it so Violet can have her perfect host. And so to make her use her power, he starts poisoning the water again, but I'm guessing by himself, not using any magic circles or anything like that. And once she uses it, she gets weak because the poison is constantly spreading every time she does it. But if she wouldn't have used it, she would have gotten back to full strength. But she feels like she needs to use it right away instead of waiting for Rimuru to come in and probably like suck out all the water with poison in it, or just any kind of solution. She kind of like just ran right into it and tried to do it herself, which I don't know, is just kind of a dumb characteristic, that she just didn't wait for help. Like Rimuru just dealt with the main problem, but you're running off as soon as things aren't your way and trying to do it yourself. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention before that, like right after they purified the lake, that was another scene with a lot of the ogres together. I'm pretty sure it was Shuna, Shion, Benimaru, and I don't remember any of the other orgs there, but that's basically another scene that I talked about, where it's like all the ogres are sharing a scene together with Hero, which is not really anything of substance, because they're all saying like, haha, we're so happy, and like we're kind of drunk, we're partying, stuff like that. And also, like right before that, or maybe right after, I forget, is basically Hero and Benimaru both go to the ogre village to have a chat, being like, hey, it's not your fault that our comrades died and the village died. You tried your best, and now we gotta live on for them. Which I thought that was a sweet scene, but hated that it was just Benimaru was the only one that got to tell him. Like none of the other ogres got to say like anything meaningful to him. But yeah, with the princess in like a comatose state, Luca, or Lucian, or whatever his name is, tells the other kingdoms that Raja has a gold mine, even though I'm pretty sure they say it a few times. It was like a gold strain or something, which is like very little gold they have, but it's just a very tiny amount. He kind of made it seem like they have a ton of gold if their kingdom's invaded. And so, like, 4 enemy armies, or at least 4 different legions slash brigades, are coming in to try to take over Raja. Hero calls for backup from Rimuru, telling him that he needs their help protecting Raja. And so Rimuru gets like 4 or 5 subordinates together to help out. He gets Gabet, Gabryu, Gale, Soy, Hikaru, Shion, and I'm pretty sure he also brings Shuna and Benimaru. So he brings like 8 subordinates, and 3 of them aren't ogres, so that's a few extra characters. And they don't even really have any speaking lines, the other 3. Like, I'm pretty sure they don't say anything aside from attacking moves, like special moves to defeat their opponents. Also, just before they were called for help, Diablo shows up real quickly, even though he's supposed to be in the kingdom of Falmouth, which I think in the main series, Rimuru predicted it would be like 2 to 3 years before Diablo would come because he has to help out, like, put what's his name in the throne. When he's describing the situation to Diablo about the magic circle, he like instantly knows who it is, which I find is just weird. So magic circles aren't used by anyone but purple demon Violet. Like, is she the only one that uses it? Luke, whatever his name, the villain, and Hero and the princess all go into a secret passage because Luke says that he knows a spell, which is a secret arts to transfer the princess into his body since her body is dying because of the poison. And so Hero really wants to give up his body since that would help with the life debt since she saved him in the beginning of the movie. And so he feels like this will repay it, which I feel is a little dumb because later Luca says that the spell never really existed, but we literally did see that in the main series because of one of the Falmouth wizards was able to transfer their mind to another person's body. And so with Lucas saying like that, like it doesn't really exist, like I just found is weird because like I guess in the Falmouth wizard's case, like he kind of forced himself into someone. It's like here I guess you can't really instantly give someone your body like without their consent, and since the princess was out cold, she really couldn't give consent. But yeah, it's like after Hero and the princess talk for a little bit because she wakes up and have a heart-to-heart moment, he betrays them by revealing that he really wasn't actually going to help. He goes on to antagonize Hero because I'm guessing he needed raw emotions to trigger Hero because he made Hero eat a little black orb, which was a secret art, like apparently in that black orb. He tricked him into eating it because he thought it was for the ritual to transfer bodies. What the orb really meant for was to transform Hero into some kind of unleashed ogre or something like that, which just makes all his rage and everything come out, and he turns into a big red ogre. And the transformation looks cool on paper. Looks like he should be powered up into an entirely new level, but for what we're speaking on, like Rimuru is a demon lord and his subordinates were already strong as it is, and they have just recently evolved into something below demon lords but higher than the status they were like pre-demon lord Rimuru. And so the entirety of the battle between Hero and Benimaru, Shuna, Rimuru, and Benimaru all finally find Hero and the princess before Hero could hurt the princess since he's just raging out. So Shuna just stays there to protect the princess. Benimaru goes to take care of Hero, and Rimuru goes to take on Lucia or Luca, whatever. The final third or last 25% of the movie were kind of bad, but mostly weird because the entire battle with Luca is mostly a chase until the very end, like the last 5 minutes of the battle. The entire battle with Hero, though, I think was terrible because it's like it shows Hero's power in that red ogre form. But honestly, he's not really doing anything to push Benimaru to his limits. Like, Benimaru is just playing defensively the entire time, just wanting to not hurt Hero. Like, only one time is he caught off guard by Hero's attacks, but in that one time, the princess gets in the way and channels the inner Hero to defy his real actions that are happening on the outside. And then when Benimaru does one strike, Hero is instantly down or nearly taken out. Hero, because the princess got in the way, got his memories back up protecting her, and the ultimate way to protect her was to kill himself slash destroy the black orb that was inside of him, turning him into that red ogre form. So he grabs it and breaks it. In doing that, he reverts back to normal because he invoked the secret arts. He had to die. Yeah, I went a little out of order. So I guess to say the first battle to happen before Heroes and Benimaru's battle finished was the battle with Violet and Diablo. Diablo because he was able to tell from the magic circle who made the magic circle without even being able to see it, but it just assumes it's Violet. Instantly ask her, she like says, I kind of know about that kingdom, this and that. I do some stuff there, but I haven't done anything. And just because of that, Diablo forces her into a battle, which he wins since he evolved by being named by Rimuru. So he's instantly able to destroy her. That battle was pretty cool. Seeing a full-scale battle between demons. It's like seeing demon lords fight. It's an actual spectacle on the eyes. And then the battle with Luca and Rimuru, that really wasn't even a battle. Like, Luca tries to attack Rimuru, like, in the tunnel while they're running. Him and Ranga are able to dodge all the attacks without getting hit once. And then once they're in the air, because they start flying up, one of his subordinates, or I guess partners, comes in to try and help him. And so Ranga deals with the partner. And the partner was one of the assistants of the queen slash princess, which was the elf guy. So he instantly kills the elf guy. And so with that guy that came into battle, that faced Ranga, Rimuru knows that the Luca guy like has replaced some people with demons as leaders. He tells his other subordinates that the enemy is being controlled by demons, and so they don't need to hold back on the demon leaders to just kill them. So all 8 of his subordinates, I forget how many exactly came with him. Gabriel finishes off his guy. Hikaru finishes off his guy. Galbut finishes off his guy. Gale finishes off his. Shion finishes hers. Soy finishes his. And so they all like complete their battle at the exact same time. But every time we did check in with them, they were just knocking out guys. They really weren't killing anybody because Rimuru is so against killing. I really felt that they didn't get to show off anything. Like, no new moves, like, no techniques we've already seen being used again to great effect. But yeah, Luca, or whatever his name was, his power level really wasn't even that high. Like, he seemed something we already faced before. Like, he could be around Orc Lord level, or maybe Clayman level. Like, Rimuru had some trouble with the Orc Lord the first time he fought him, because Rimuru wasn't that experienced at the time, and the Orc Lord was pretty strong. Clayman, Rimuru had no difficulty at all with. Even Shion had no difficulty with Clayman at that time. Even when he awakened, Rimuru still had no trouble against him. So with Luca being around that level to even weaker, like, Rimuru had no challenge because Rimuru has gotten nothing but stronger in that time, which felt like it was just an easy battle that Rimuru could have instantly killed him. I don't know, he was trying to talk him down or something, thinking he was still human. And after Rimuru destroys his sword, the only way of defending himself, Violet calls and tells him that he's done a terrible job because she wanted the princess slash queens to do it themselves voluntarily, like fall into the power of the tiara. She didn't want anyone to mess with them and ruin the test or ruin the game that she was playing with them. So she says she disapproves of everything he did and told him, like, you're terrible, just like laying it into him until he's completely unmotivated to continue the battle anymore. So with that, he takes one of the black orbs, the same one as Hero, and I honestly thought he was going to transform into a different version of a demon. So, like, I don't already know what his level of demon was, because I'm pretty sure there's lower demons, superior demons, and then all I know is the primordial demons are on top. what level of demon he was to have like high intelligence that he could speak, but he was weak overall. I would imagine he was just a superior demon than any other demon. So when he took the black orb, I expected something like amazing or some spectacle of a battle, because like after what that did to Hero, like I don't know what his power level was after eating the black orb, but yeah, I expected a jump in power to challenge Rimuru, but no. Apparently his black orb was just to make him into a bomb, or maybe it powered him up just, and then he decided that he just wanted to bomb everything. So he starts doing his nuclear explosion, taking way too much time to do it. And so with the nuclear bomb going off, Rimuru just uses Beelzebub and just devours the entirety of the explosion. So his sacrifice was literally for nothing. He didn't damage the nation at all. Then I'm pretty sure that's where Hero's battle ends, because he rips the black orb out of himself and returns back to normal. But with that, he starts to die. Like he's turning into ash because of the secret arts. And so he finds a nice little place to just sit down for a bit. And Benimaru, Shuna, and the Princess Toa are there. And they're just having their last goodbyes because he's dying. Like apparently there's nothing they can do for him. And so after their last goodbyes, he fully turns into dust, which I found so weird. Actually, no, wait, I'll get to it. So yeah, he turns fully into dust, and then Toa invokes the power of the tiara to bring him back to life. And in doing so, she breaks the tiara because apparently that's too much power. And so with that, she starts to die because she basically took his place by invoking that much power to bring him back to life. And so she says some final words to him and then dies. But because Violet felt like that was unfair conditions of her winning the game, because one of her subordinates forced Toa to use the crown, she reverses the death of Toa. So she brings her back and takes the crown as like, okay, you guys can live. What I found really dumb about that entire twist on twist was like, wouldn't it have been easier just to take away the poison, or wouldn't have it just been easier to stop him from dying in the first place? Wouldn't that have taken less power to keep him alive than letting him die and bringing him back to life? Because bringing someone back from the dead seems like that would be a lot more work than just healing someone. And since that crown can apparently do anything, I don't know, that seemed like a very easy solution, which they just wanted the more dramatic way of bringing him back. I thought the music was very heart-wrenching and good at that part. But man, the twist made it feel so dumb. I was gonna be sad if Hero or Toa like die because they had the good music playing, that they were gonna be like, I'll live for you, but they just didn't do that. Everything works out in the end. The enemy army is beat back, and all the guys are able to go back home saying, don't mess with Raja. Hero and the princess are able to both go back to the kingdom just fine. Yeah, the movie just kind of ends there. Like, all the problems are solved. Tempest made new allies. And yeah, that's basically the movie. Like overall, it was a pretty generic anime movie. Like as I said in my non-spoiler one, it's them going to a different kingdom, meeting some new allies, so Toa and Hiro, and them trying to face a new villain, which was the Luca guy, and they did it. Although there wasn't anything too amazing in this, because usually in movies they want to show off a new transformation, a new move, something like that. And this movie just didn't do any of that. I guess the coolest thing was seeing a like ogre evolve into a fire ogre or whatever hero transformed into, that was the coolest thing in the movie. But even that was kind of underwhelming considering Benimaru was able to contest his strength in just base form, not doing any tricks or anything special. Oh yeah, and something I forgot to mention. Yeah, when they were asking for help from Tempest, Veldora was there for a little bit. Like, he's one of the people that just popped up in the background. He was there because they were asking permission from Veldora, since the rumor of Veldora is like you need permission from him to do anything to the forest. So they came to Tempest to talk to Rimuru so he could talk to Veldora. And so Veldora just says his quick lines of, yeah, yeah, you guys can do whatever you want to the forest. And so with that, they're able to cultivate and hunt in the forest. So that helps out the situation in Raja, so they're not too worried about how to sustain themselves with building material and food. And so that's just Veldora's little quick thing, since Rimuru just tells him, hey, I want you to watch Tempest while I'm gone. And then when they actually get to Raja and they're having their little meeting with the assistants and they're asking for permission to actually cultivate and hunt, Rimuru is having a little bit of a hard time being like, yeah, yeah, you guys can do this, or is like he's wanting someone else to speak for him. And so suddenly three people that we already know from the past appear, because apparently they can just overhear conversations or know when they're needed. We see Remerus, we see Trainee, and we see Beretta all appear because I'm guessing they needed the permission of the Dryads to do like actual cultivating and hunting, since the Dryads are spirits of the Jara forest. So yeah, they appear like for also a minute or 2 minute. That's like 5 characters that just appear for a minute or two, just to say some lines, and then they're gone from the rest of the movie. You only see Milim and Veldora again at the very end of the movie for another minute or two, because the thing that they were doing was they were apparently like fighting or playing with each other, as they like to say. So they got into a little fight. Yeah, overall, the movie was just okay. Like, it really wasn't great. If you're a slime fan, you'll probably like it more. But if you're looking more out of your movies, then this movie won't do it for you. So it's like, if you just have it to watch and you're a slime fan, you're gonna enjoy this movie. Critically, it does nothing special. It does what every other non-canon anime movie does. New adventure, new allies, new enemy. Boom, done. Self-contained adventure done. Never speak to this again. Hope you guys enjoyed this spoiler discussion slash review. As I said, my final grading would probably be a 7 to an 8, so probably like a 7.5. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed my review slash discussion, please make sure to follow me on all my social medias, like my Twitter, my Twitch, my YouTube, my DLive, my TikTok. Make sure to like and comment everything, and even join my Discord. There you can stay up to date with everything I choose to do, where's machines, videos, or anything else. But yeah, I hope to see you guys next time. Bye.